Hi everyone, I'm Scott Hoke. Welcome to Mecum Full Throttle. You know, Ferrari has been an enduring symbol of automotive excellence, precision, performance, style, art, and certainly exclusivity, perhaps more than any other brand. And Phil and Martha Bachman recognize what the prancing horse represents. Their love of all things Ferrari grew into a passionate obsession, which over the course of many years resulted in the group of automobiles we're about to see. Quite simply, one of the finest private collections in the world, 46 Ferraris, 2 Alfa Romeos that have deep Ferrari roots and all at no reserve. Coming up in the next hour, we'll bring you the stunning vehicles from the Phil and Martha Bachman Ferrari Collection. Well, here we go, everyone, with the first of 2 Alfa Romeos, both with Ferrari roots.
Yeah, a lot of speciality here. This is powered by a 4.7-liter V8 that is Ferrari built, 450 horsepower. Also, this engine can be found in Maseratis as well, only 95 miles on the odometer. So Phil and Martha Bachman didn't spend a whole lot of time on the road with this car, and it's just fabulously presented.
All at no reserve. First Alfa at $300,000, one of 500 Spiders built over the course of the production span. They all sold out immediately, really.
Carbon fiber body, a lot of lightweight components in these cars, and the interior is really one of the high points of these Alfa Romeos. So luxurious and plush. Yeah, this car was designed by Wolfgang Egger, who would go on and do some work for Audi and Lamborghini as well. He's a real star in the design world.
Well, the first of 2 Alfas sells for $385,000, and now it's the Competizione version. Did I say that correctly, Marco?
Yeah, Competizione, yes.
Okay, very good. We're going to get a good Italian lesson here as well. This is also a 2008 Alfa Romeo 8C.
And once again, it's got that fabulous styling that just sets this car apart. You see the Quattrofoglio 4-leaf clover good luck symbol used on the Alfa Romeo race cars of the past. And a lot of these cars are going to have special Phil and Martha Bachman touches and features and little things that they've integrated into these automobiles that really make them one of a kind.
And again, if you're just joining us, our guest in the booth, you'll hear his voice very distinctively. Marco Arrighi, former factory employee at Maranello, worked on the Ferrari Classica department as well, and we'll go into a little bit more detail on that and how important that is once we get into the Ferraris in earnest. Wow. Well, there that one is at $335,000. Okay, the 1994 512 TR.
Yeah, we'll get the running gear out of the real quick. 4.9-liter, flat 12, 421 horsepower. But these TRs, the 512 TRs, these were one step up from the Testarossa, which preceded it, with just more aero, more power, and a car that was not that very high on the collector's radar screen for a while. But boy, this market absolutely went through the moon about 10, 15 years ago. We're seeing it today.
A $400,000 bid. You saw the rear deck lid. The 512 TR did not have the Testarossa badge. The original Testarossa was the only one that had that on the rear deck lid. Let's see it. And the 512 TR sells for $500,000. And next on the auction block, the Ferrari 288 GTO from 1985.
This car could run 394 horsepower out of that 2.9-liter turbo V8, Ferrari's first turbocharged supercar that never raced because the Group B was discontinued before they could ever take this car to the racetrack, right?
Yeah.
And Marco, you indicated this car is an important one for you and for Ferrari.
Yeah, for me, because I started the production on the assembly line of this car, so it's emotional and sentimental reason.
Let's make some noise. Sold.
The 288 GTO from 1985 just sold for $7.75 million. How about that?
The car is finally getting its full value and attention, Marco, right? It's
Yeah.
fully being appreciated by the market.
Absolutely.
As we continue with the Phil and Martha Bachman collection with a 1978 308 GTS.
And some rarity here. One of 3 produced in the Giallo Fly color on the outside and the Testa de Moro 890 interior. One of only 3. 2.9 liter V8. And these cars were produced from 1907 and 1980. And Marco, the 308, that was kind of like a large number of cars that were built during that series.
Yes, there's a little of variation on the production that start with the 308, and then they did the 4-valve, the injection, and then the evolution was the 328.
Yeah.
That was almost for 10, 12 years.
Almost a mass-produced car from Ferrari.
For sure, in numbers at that period was the most produced car,
Oh, this 308 GTS just sold for $220,000.
Well, that's way above our usual market for those cars. Wow.
Next on the auction block, 1975 365 GT4 BB, or Berlinetta Boxer.
Yeah, flat 12 in the back of the Boxer. That's why we call it a Boxer engine, the 5-liter engine, but absolutely stunning creation that you guys produced back then.
Only 387 of these were built between 73 and 76.
And guys, I don't think we're going to see that triple exhaust, triple taillight setup on almost any of the other Ferraris we're going to see today.
$550,000 for that 365 GT4.
Scott, they just keep coming.
The first Ferrari modern supercar is what we are looking at right now, a 1992 F40.
And it's so amazing that these engines with only 2.9 liters could generate 471 horsepower, that twin-turbo V8 engine. This is the first time Ferrari employed the twin turbochargers. This one, only 458 miles on the odometer. A race car that was street legal, probably the most easy way to encapsulate what these cars were.
Wow.
Sold.
$6 million. And look at the youngster with an Enzo sweatshirt. I love that. F40, $6 million. Here is a 1976 308 GTB.
Yeah, this with that 2.9 liter V8, this one making 240 horsepower. And the odometer reads almost 10,000 miles. Yeah, and this one with the fiberglass bodywork before they switched over to sheet metal.
$250,000. And now we move to the 1989 Testarossa.
390 horsepower out of the 4.9 flat 12. Odometer reads 257 miles.
Marco, the first car I worked on when I started at Greypool was a Testarossa with a camshaft failure. And we called the factory, we called Maranello and asked how we should go about the work. And Maranello's answer was, we've never seen it before. Make sure your mechanic documents everything when he takes it out and let us know what he did.
It's the standard answer to the problem.
Yes.
Never happened.
Let us know how you fixed it.
Sold. $625,000, Chris Elliott.
Now I'll bring F129.
Okay, here is another massively important car. 1970 365 GTB4 Daytona.
Yeah, when people say classic Ferrari, this may be the one that they are most familiar with, the famous Daytona. This one with that V12 engine, a front engine V12 GT car. And when this run ended, Marco, we didn't see another one until the Maranello came along sometime later.
Yes.
Well, this one sells for $600,000. Marco Arrighi, thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate your insight on these cars. It's been wonderful to have you here, sir. Grazie.
Thank you. Thank you to you.
And we'll take a break, and we return with an Enzo and an FXX next. Welcome back as the Phil and Martha Bachman Ferrari Collection continues with the 2001 550 Barchetta Pininfarina, and we are above $1 million on this car.
Special car, Scott. This was to celebrate the 70th anniversary. Ferrari, the 550 Maranello Coupe, became an open-top car. The Barchetta, only 448 of these were built, making them even more exclusive. A lot of power, 485 horsepower, 5.5 liter V12.
Sold $1,150,000.
No rest for the weary. Here comes the FXX.
For the weary, you are correct, Amundo. On the block now, a 2006 Ferrari FXX.
860 horsepower, 6.3 liter V12, and Steve Matchett, there was a special mission for these cars at Ferrari.
Boy, I tell you, in 2003, Maranello produced the Enzo. 3 years later, Maranello said, hold my glass of wine, let's see what we can do now. And they produced the FXX. Track-only car.
Yeah, and
another stunning piece of automotive engineering from the team.
Right, and owners became part of the R&D team.
Right.
They were used in order to provide feedback on the finished automobile.
Yeah, and Phil did not sit idly by. In fact, he was one of the drivers, owners, who had the most seat time in an FXX.
Yeah, I believe this has the record for the highest kilometer, Steve. So it also makes you realize not only did Phil love Ferraris, he loved driving them and racing them and working on them.
Yes, and that idea that the drivers were giving feedback to Maranello was no marketing ploy. It was just, we want to know what makes this car work for you guys. The upgrades that came on board for this car, time and time again, you had to have all of that work done by Maranello and nobody else but Maranello to do that.
Yeah, and more pull for the Bachmans at the factory. The only one that left as in Giallo Yellow.
So $5.75
million for the FXX. Next on the block, everyone, 2004 Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale.
Yeah, basically this is a road-going 360 Modena. Horsepower's been added, it's been stripped down to a lighter weight, upgraded with a lightning fast 6-speed F1 automatic gearbox. 1,300 of these were built, and this is the last one built for this country. And this one is Dishon, 3.6 liter V8, 425 horsepower. This is the challenged Stradale. This is a car that literally competed in spec races.
Yep.
Where all the Ferraris race each other. Stradale means street. So this is like a street version of a full race challenge car, but it can get up. And this has Scudoni luggage too.
Okay, this one gavels for $1,050,000. The 360 Challenge Stradale. Here is a 365 GTB4 Daytona. Second one of these we've seen. This one from 1973. Bill.
Yeah, final year of the Daytona, debuted in 1968, and they all had that front engine, 12-cylinder engine. And these cars, again, called Daytona by the enthusiast establishment, not by Ferrari, and that was something that happened in 1967. Ferraris finished 1, 2, 3 at the endurance race in Daytona, and when this car was produced, well, somehow, even though these weren't the cars that raced, those cars that won in Daytona were prototypes, but somehow that name trickled down to these road cars. Colombo designed 4-cam V12 6 Webers, 352 horsepower.
So $1,100,000.
All right, another one in the $1 million category, 1.1 million. All right, we move now to this 2005 Ferrari 575M Super America. Steve, M for Modificata?
Modifications on the car, yeah, but you remember a little earlier on talking to Mark, and we're talking about, well, when the Daytona came to its end of its run, there was a long while before Ferrari finally got back on board with a front-engine car.
Right.
This is the series of cars that did it for them, starting off with the 550 Maranello and on from there.
And of course, the Super America name, no secret that Ferrari was aiming these cars at the American market. It's where they wanted to sell them.
I think it was Ferrari president Luca de Montezemolo. He went to his engineers and said, whatever happened to that Daytona that was, well, we kind of, we're on to different things now. How about we bring it back again, because it was a great success.
Yeah, and it was.
And
boy.
it worked.
Yeah, the Maranello series, just fantastic. Front engine, 12-cylinder GT cars. This has that electrochromic rotating glass roof, okay? A rotating glass roof in a Ferrari.
$1.175 million is the hammer price on that 575M Super America. This is one of the most spectacular cars of this lineup, everyone. 1967 275 GTB4 alloy car, and that's the key.
Yeah, one of only 16 alloy cars produced, and really the pinnacle of the GTB4. And there's a couple distinguishing features on this, and Magic's probably about to jump in on the hood bulge, indicates that 4-cam engine under there. And then there's that continuation of the drip rail that continues behind the windows that indicates that it is an alloy body, a little distinguishing feature.
I'll just add by saying, Chris, on your description of the car there, the presentation is just phenomenal. The paintwork, the quality of the paint, the depth of the paint when you stand close to it is remarkable.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to be there to check out this collection in person, and this car in particular just drew me in, unlike any of the others in the collection. This is just a phenomenal, phenomenal automobile.
Of course, the alloy body, that's why it's called an alloy. It's not a steel body. Much lighter than the steel body cars. And this was the run-up until the 365 GTB came in after this. And some people prefer this styling-wise to the Daytonas. And you can see why with that long nose, the short deck, and that little ducktail spoiler in the back.
Yeah.
So,
$5.5 million for that 275 GTB4 alloy car.
Wow. And Scott, that was a beater. That had over 42,000 miles on it.
1964 Ferrari 250 GTL Berlinetta Lusso. The Lusso stands for luxury.
Yeah, this epitomizes that model designation too. Power-wise, it's got a 3-liter V12, and it's rated at 240 horsepower. But don't be deceived, this was a fast car. Some of them had 4 speeds, some of them had 5 speeds in them. This one right here has about 78,000 miles on it. Real wood steering wheel, that's some of that luxury we're talking about. Quilted leather luggage on the shelf back there, an angled instrument cluster. The final expression of the 250 GT series. Built 350 of these, 350, and this one right here may be one of the finest in the world.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to stick around. There's more to come. Sold $3 million.
So $3 million buys that 64 Ferrari. Now we go back to 1953 and the 166mm 53 Vignale Spider. And this is back to the coachwork era a little bit, Bill.
Yeah.
Boy, you're absolutely right. You just talked about hand-built cars, Bill, and the English wheel and dollies and dies. But if you look around this car, 1953, the factory opened in Maranello for business in 1947. So what progress those guys are making straight after the war years. But just brilliant fabricators and bodywork experts that work in Maranello to produce this body on the car. I mean, it's a true barchetta, as they say.
Yes.
It's not a convertible, right? It was always designed to be like this.
Yep.
There are locations around the hood here, around the bodywork here, for a tonneau cover to go along the passenger side, but nothing where the driver is sitting. but just to cover that passenger side up if it was just being used by a single person. But it is, as they say, a barchetta, the little boat, as they say in Italian.
Exactly.
Sold $1,900,000. Sold $1,900,000.
Oh my goodness. Well, $1.9 million buys that 53 Ferrari. We have 28 Bachman Ferrari cars still to come. We need to take a timeout and collect our breath. Back in a moment. We welcome you back to our documentation of this Ferrari art gallery. That's what Dana Mecum called this Phil and Martha Bachman collection. Here is another Ferrari F512M, very unusual, the last one that was produced in giallo for the United States market.
Yeah, this is the last iteration of the Testarossa, the 512M, M meaning modified. And so you find some things in these cars that you don't find in the previous versions of the Testarossa. 501 were built. This one has 5,000 miles on the odometer. And it's got that ever-present 4.9-liter flat 12, 190 miles an hour top speed. This was the first Testarossa with anti-lock brakes, by the way. So over the years, Ferrari making improvements to the performance and the features on cars like this. Yeah, that generation of the Testarossa, a little controversial because of those side strakes, but those are functional. They're channeling cool air into the engine compartment, but took a little while for people to warm up to it. And that one sells, and we go to the next car. GTO, well, it's been used 3 times in Ferrari history. This one, the 2011 $599. Oh, and this is a rocket ship, 661 horsepower out of that 6-liter V12, 104 miles on the odometer. And this one has been personalized by the Bachmans, little custom touches in terms of the paint scheme, the detailing. This was a $103,291 tab for the special features on the car. That's not the MSRP, those are the add-ons.
$3.6 million. Well, that's 2 GTOs that we have had past this auction block. Here's a 2011 599 SA Aperta, another car with the Bachman's personal touch.
Yeah, the SA, that's kind of special. That designation refers to Sergio and Andrea Pininfarina, responsible for the exterior styling of so many Ferraris, and this is a car that kind of commemorates that relationship.
This is the GTO with a removable top.
Right,
it's
exactly.
Pretty much exactly the same
as the previous
as far as
car.
the mechanicals are, yeah.
You are right.
Yeah, but we will not designate this car the GTO. We've already done it.
Right.
Sold $4,500,000. Sold $4,500,000.
The Ferrari 599 SA Aperta sold for $4.5 million. Now we move to a 1984 512 BBI.
Oh, these were brutes. They were 4.9-liter flat 12-cylinder engine. And this is the second Ferrari Phil Bachman bought and the last 512 BBI produced. Oh, and these cars, they were tough guys. Yeah. 340 horsepower, the infamous Boxer, Bosch fuel injection, 5-speed transaxle. A car that represents the configuration that Enzo Ferrari was a little hesitant to offer to the general public.
$625,000. That is your hammer price via the telephone for that 1984 Ferrari. Let's go back to the 308 series for a little bit. 1980 308 GTSI.
Yeah, when Marco was with us, he did substantiate the fact that the 308 series is close to a mass-produced Ferrari as you're going to find. They built so many of them.
Right.
This one's been driven a little bit, almost 4,000 miles. Got the 2.9-liter V8 in it. And again, you know, we always make the reference to the Magnum car from Magnum PI.
Well, this one hammers at $175,000. Definitely affordable Ferrari territory, relatively speaking, today.
Yep. Yeah, you could call this, I mean, a high-end entry-level Ferrari,
Yes,
I guess.
very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, a 1974 Dino 246 GTS, and our Dino expert is right here. Steve Matchett, you've owned these and restored these and sold these.
Well, you guys just hit the nail on the head earlier on when, and Bill, you were saying, you know, the 308 took a while to get going, and what about this car?
Yes.
When the original car was produced, it wasn't badged as a Ferrari, it was badged as a Dino.
Yep.
People didn't really know what to make of it. This one, now if you have a correct Dino badge car, and this one is, if you look at the badging on the front, you basically take the portrait badge and turn it into a landscape badge with Dino on it, but the dimensions of the badge are the same. But it took a long while for the customer base. What is this?
And by the way, this is a very rare chairs and flares Dino, which means that it has seats from the Ferrari Daytona and larger wheel arches, so they call them chairs and flares.
$850,000.
Bueno, so close.
Just bought the 74 Dino. Now the 2017 Ferrari F12 TDF.
Oh, serious performance here. 769 horsepower V12, 6.3 liters.
Looking at that airbrushed Italian flag stripe on the front of the car, that was a special wish of the Bachmans also, and the factory was happy to comply.
Yeah, Stephen, you're always preaching the importance of lighter weight. This is a lighter version of the F12 Berlinetta. They really took a lot of the extra weight out of this car to make it an even more spectacular performer.
$2.9 million for the F12 TDF. Big money on the block again, Bill. $1.6 million for this 316 Challenge Stradale.
Yeah, rightly so. 1999, that was the final year of the 355 series, and the most powerful, that 3.5 liter, 5 valves per cylinder, V8, 375 horsepower, the optional F1 6-speed automatic transmission, which, by the way, that was an electro-hydraulic gearbox, pretty revolutionary at the time. This is the last example produced and the first Ferrari the Bachmans teamed up with Ferrari to personalize. And boy, they did a lot of that. This is the only F355 with this color scheme.
1.7 is the hammer price. 2005 Ferrari 575M Super America. That's the next one in the lineup for us.
Yeah, we've had a Super America previously, and this one with the 540 horse, 5.7 liter V12. Odometer reads 1,759 miles, one of 559 that were built, with a 6-speed Formula One automatic transmission. Yeah, this was the generation of the Maranello that returned them to the front engine V12 Grand Touring car.
$500,000 for this 575M. On our block next, as we continue, a 1973 Dino 246 GTS. Steve Matchett, I'll throw it to you. We've talked about this before. As the previous car moves out, no Ferrari badging visible on the Dino. So for the purists, is it okay to call it a Ferrari, or do you stick with it's a Dino?
I would always call it a Ferrari. It was made at the factory.
Yes.
Everything about it's got Ferrari DNA all over it. Beautiful. Let's have a look at I'll have a look at the badging on the car. Typically, the only badging you will see on an original 246 Dino with a Ferrari logo on will be inside the door jamb on the plate. Let's have a look, see if we can see it down in here. Yeah, not there. So it would be the original. There's a little plaque there that would have had the Ferrari logo on, but it's not there. Even on the steering wheel, look, it's Dino on the steering wheel. It's Dino on the center of the hubcaps. It's Dino on the front. No Ferrari badging on it. And Dino on the back, Dino GT.
Yeah.
$700,000 for the Dino 246. Silver Spurs Arena, our home with you today, Central Florida, packed house here as we roll on with our coverage here. And the Phil and Martha Bachman Collection continues with another in the 308 series here, one of the 308 GTBs from 1976.
Well, we're talking about multi-million-dollar Ferraris. This might be the most affordable Ferrari that we'll see. This is just your standard 308 GTB from 1976, the 2.9-liter V8 with about 240 horsepower with the gated five-speed shifter, Weber carburetors, and as we learned from Marco, yes, this was a mass-produced Ferrari. They built a lot of them during the 308 series. They had the GTB, this one, the fixed roof, the GTS, which was the removable Targa roof. A couple of different flavors there. $200,000, Scott.
Even up, right on. And here is LaFerrari from 2015.
This is the last U.S. spec LaFerrari that was built. All that horsepower approaching 1,000. All the carbon fiber add-ons totaling $21,000 plus in options.
And just in case you were wondering if it was the last produced, there is a special plaque at the bottom of the steering wheel that proclaims exactly that, last produced.
This car scored the fastest lap ever set at the Fiorano test track for a road-going Ferrari. 499 were built. Completely sold out before production was completed.
Sold $6,100,000.
$6.1 million buys the LaFerrari. And rolling into position as it leaves the block is a 1973 365 GTB4 Daytona.
Yep, second one we've had. Got that 352 horsepower V12. I don't know if you remember, but the very first Cannonball run from New York, California was won by Dan Gurney, my old friend Brock Yates, the great automotive writer. They won the first Cannonball. They went from New York City to Redondo Beach in California in one of these cars. And this car will do 175 miles an hour. And there were times during that run when they had the pedal to the metal. Road and Track named this the best sports car in the world when it debuted in 1968.
$430,000 was the hammer price on essentially that project Ferrari 365 GTB4. Here's a 2009 430 Scuderia Spider 16M.
Yep, 141 miles of use on this Ferrari. 503 horsepower, 4.3-liter V8 with a 6-speed Formula One paddle-shifted automatic transmission. Best of Show award winner, several big concours, and this was ordered by the Bachmans with his brother, the 430 Scuderia, at the same time in a matching color scheme.
And that will be the next car.
Yes, sir.
And again, look at that unique interior. Those colors, you know, so different from almost anything we were seeing Ferrari put out at the time. Again, what makes this collection so special, so unique.
Guys, if we have a look at the badging on the back here, we can see where that 16M gets its name on. Ferrari have won the Constructors' World Championship 16 times, and the last time they did that, I think, was in 2008. Ferrari stand leagues ahead of every other constructor in the Formula One Championship for winning Constructors' Championships with 16. This is in honor of that.
$1.8 million for the first of two Ferrari 430s, the Scuderia Spider. And as Bill, you mentioned, that car ordered at the same time that its brother, the next car, the closed-top car, was ordered. And it's coming to the block now.
Same powertrain, same styling, a little different mileage on this one, 125 miles. And this one, again, has been shown at several different events by the Bachmans during their ownership. Yeah, we got luggage with this one, Scott. We got the Scudoni luggage with this. The assembly line staff also signed this car, underside of the deck lid.
Steve, obvious difference here between the Spider version and the Scuderia version. but the 16M designation on the previous car, not on this car. How much of a difference does that make?
Well, it's when I saw the 16M, it made me think it was a celebration of the 16 World Championships. I'm not entirely 100% clear on that, but that's what made me make the trip to the back of the car to see if the badge was on the back. So I would think that's what that one is, a special edition for the celebration of the 16 championships.
I think that might be it.
So, $1,500,000.
And there it is. 1.5 million.
Manufacturer suggested retail price back in 2009, $260,000.
The next car from the Phil and Martha Bachman Collection, a 1978 512 BB.
Oh, a real factory hot rod from Maranello. Yeah, these cars they were a handful. 12-cylinder, 4.9 liter. Weber carburetors, 5-speed manual, 340 horsepower. And they could rip. Odometer, 1,437 miles.
So,
$400,000 for that Ferrari. On the block now, another Ferrari F40, 1992, as the crowd continues in amazement to watch the proceedings here from the Bachman Collection.
Oh, my favorite Ferrari, the F40, street legal exotic, 471 horsepower, twin turbo, 2.9 liter V8. And not a lot of creature comforts or comfort and convenience items in these cars. Originally designed to compete in the Group B championship, the World Championship, and before the Ferrari could get in there and mix it up with all of the other entries, they discontinued that class. Those cars, by the way, were called Killer Bees, that Group B Road Rally Championship. Steve, I'm sure you remember it. Those cars were lethal, and they pretty much had to bring the curtain down on the Group B category.
Yeah, I think ultimately that's exactly what happened, right? They said, okay, that's enough of that. We can't keep doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, direct competition with the Porsche 959 in the Group B.
Yeah.
And also the Jaguar, the 220.
$5 million.
It sells for $5.3 million. So we'll move to this 2015 458 Speciale A.
597 horsepower being toted around by this Ferrari, the Speciale A, one of 499 that were produced. And hold on to your chapeau, 58 miles on the odometer. Yeah, this is another one of those Bachman cars that was signed by the assembly line staff in Maranello. Customized touches, yep, all through this Ferrari, through their personalization department.
So, $2,800,000.
$2.8 million. Well, speaking of one, here's another one. 1989 328 GTB.
Yes, sir, the only 328 GTB built for the U.S. in Giallo with a Nero interior. That's the yellow, the black interior. 260 horsepower, 3.2 liter V8. 561 miles on the clock. This has the luggage, and this has a bunch of trophies, too, for all of the shows where this has been awarded special recognition.
Wow.
$525 buys that 328 GTB. And we will continue with the last few from the Bachman Collection after a quick timeout. Well, as we promised you, not one, but two Ferrari La Ferraris. This one from 2017, the La Ferrari Aperta.
This is a supercar by any yardstick you want to measure. Combining that internal combustion V12 with that 21st century electric hybrid assist, almost 1,000 horsepower, 0 to 60 times under 3 seconds. This car debuted in 2013, and it was a bombshell. It rocked the world.
And if memory serves, guys, no Pininfarina badging on this car. This car was made in-house.
Yes.
And we're already at $8 million.
And the MSRP, 2017, $2 million. Carbon fiber lightweight pieces throughout this automobile. This was displayed at the 2018 Celebration Exotic Car Festival. The Bachmans were invited to so many events to display this car. And why not?
On my last visit to Maranello, I bumped into my old Benetton colleague, Rory Byrne, who then was an aerodynamicist working with Ferrari. Had dinner with him, and I asked him if he was working on any other projects. He said, "Oh, I'm working on a little road car project for them." This one right here.
Yes. That's a great story. Just a little road car.
A little road car project,
yeah,
is that?
You know.
Yeah.
96 miles on the odometer, if you're wondering.
This is definitely one of those offerings from Ferrari where you had to be a loyal customer to be on the waiting list, to be allowed to buy the car, and then not be allowed to sell it for a period after that, right?
Yeah, is it true that you would have had to have owned the F40, the F50, and the Enzo in order to be considered to purchase a LaFerrari?
That sounds right. And I think what Ferrari are concerned about is we don't just want our customers buying the car, selling them, making a profit. That's not what we're about.
No, the speculators were
we don't
ruled
want
out.
that. We don't want that to happen.
Hey, I've got $10 million back.
Oh, wow.
Sold
Wow.
$10 million.
They are part of the Red Book certification on that car now. They left the factory like that. It must remain like that.
$10 million.
Wow.
For the LaFerrari. Our focus now turns to this yellow Ferrari. 2003 Ferrari Enzo.
Scott, this car is alive. I was just standing behind it there in the staging lanes waiting for it to come on, and the heat wave that's coming off the car is just, it's shimmering with heat. It's just fantastic. It's a fantastic thing to see. You look at the bodywork around this car, the Enzo, made in honor of Enzo Ferrari. It's just spectacular. But when you come round, and we'll follow it around towards the back, when you see this badge work that Maranello put onto the rear deck of the car, that fantastic facsimile of Enzo Ferrari's name, that signature, we always used to write his signature in purple ink, in violet ink, but to see it on the car is stunning.
Yeah, and I mentioned the relationship the Bachmans had with Ferrari. Phil was at the factory when this car was being built, and there are pictures of him underneath the car screwing a component to it. How many people get a chance to do that? Not many.
Yeah, there's a couple other touches that are Bachman only, one of which is the signature badge that Steve just pointed out, and also the lower rocker panels are normally black all the way around the bottom of the car, but those are body color. This is the only Enzo for which that was done, and it was because of Phil and Martha's relationship with the factory.
Guys, where were we going on price with this one?
$9 million at the moment. Let that sink in. $9 million. Those custom touches, the factory delivery, the low mileage, puts this Enzo at $10 million now into a realm that very few have achieved.
649 miles.
Yeah, there's a couple other touches underneath the engine bonnet that were Bachman only as well. The polished struts, that was not factory. That was specially done for Phil and Martha because that's the way that they wanted them. Hard to believe this is a 23-year-old car. It looks as modern as any car that's from 2026.
Yeah, debuted in 2002. Only 400 built until 2004, and they were all sold before they became available at the dealer.
You think about the hoops that you would have had to jump through as a Ferrari owner to be eligible to even get on the list to consider a purchase of an Enzo, and now we're seeing that value materialize over the years with those custom touches and the low miles. Steve, did you ever think this would be possible, these kind of numbers?
No, honestly, no. But this just goes to show just how much influence the Bachman collection has over the value of these cars. Chris, you were mentioning it earlier on, the fact that these little touches are on the cars have all been approved by Maranello. Every one signed off by the factory.
0 to 12 million in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
$13 million. And suffice to say, this is far beyond world record Enzo numbers.
It's staggering. By the way, for you stat geeks, the MSRP on this car in 2003 was about $650,000.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Always remember what you pay for it.
Give 15 million
I
and
wonder
then don't
if
ever
Phil
bid
and
again if you
Martha
don't want to.
Bachman would have never
15 million?
predicted their cars would be bringing this kind of bidding.
You just bid 15 million.
It's almost surreal. It is surreal.
This is what happens when two people want a car
He's a nobody here. I
so
don't know who he
badly,
is.
and
15,
they
I
know
I hear you.
that
Where do
they
you wanna
will
be?
never have another
15,
opportunity for a car
15.5,
like this
15.5.
after
Where do you want to
today.
be?
Gone. 7.5, $16 million.
We're there. We're there.
16 mil.
He's walking away.
15.7,
He's
$16
walking
million on it. Even permission. 15.7.
He's got 15 million left. He like, you guys got to be 16 million away.
16 mil. $16 million bid. 16 million. 15.7. $16 million bid. 16 mil.
You got to be 16 million.
$16 million on it. 15.7. 16. 16
All right, guys.
$16,500,000, guys.
Listen.
16
Before I put
million
that Patriots hat on, okay?
16
We're at 16 million.
They have come so far. It is a battle of the Titans for this
16
one
million,
of
250.
one.
I'll wear the hat. We'll all wear the Patriots hat. Which one? 16. Wait, where you at? 16,250. 250!
Thank you, fellas. Thank you, fellas. Anybody else give him a great round of applause. He was a great backup better. 16,250, 16,500,000. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Right.
So,
Oh my goodness. You have just witnessed Mecum and Ferrari Enzo world record bidding, and it results in a hammer price of $16.25 million.
When the bidding was at $6 million, Steve Matchett turned around and gave me those big saucer eyes like, did you see that? A little knowing where this would lead.
Next on the block, 1995 Ferrari F50.
Steve, the F40 kind of introduced the race car for the street concept in that generation. But this, I want to hear you talk about how much of that F1 technology trickled down into this F50.
Well, again, this is another example of you don't think we could do anything better than we've done before. We did the F40, we, the factory I'm talking for now. You know, and then the marketing department get together and the engineers get together. What can we do to celebrate 50 years? Well, basically what this car is an F40 with upgraded aerodynamics, and we take a Formula One engine and drop it inside the engine bay.
Yes.
Here's a little bit more to this story. They couldn't get an F50 originally, so they had to go in search of one. As you see the bidding at $9 million. Where did they find an F50? Well, in the collection of professional golfer Ian Poulter from the UK. And that's Poulter right there with the gray hoodie with PB Bachman. And Poulter sold Phil Bachman his F50 because, for a number of reasons, but first and foremost because it met their standards.
Last call, 11,200,000.
Jimmy Landis says last call.
Sold, 11,100,000.
And there it is.
Stunning. Just stunning.
Incredible. $11.1 million for that F50. And now to the final car of this collection, which is ironic because it's the first Ferrari ordered by the Bachmans back in 1984.
Yeah, and it's the very first Ferrari that their son ever rode in. In fact, he was still in utero. They went to the hospital to give birth to that gentleman right there. So this is the first car he ever had a ride in, and so very emotional and special for PB.
Yeah, exclusivity for sure on this car. It's the second built of the 5 that were produced in this color combination. Running gear, pretty familiar, 2.9 liter, 230 horse V8, mid-mounted, and a 5-speed manual.
Oh, that is such a moment right there. As the Bachman collection comes to a close, $275,000 for the final car, the last of the 46. And we are told that in total, the collection, the 46 Ferraris and the 2 Alfa Romeos, approximately $114 million. What a day it has been. That we can be sure. And that'll do it for this edition of Mecum Full Throttle. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Scott Hoke. So long from Kissimmee. World record bidding, hammer price of $16.25 million.
It's staggering.